seats and couches and floor here and everywhere? You're okay? Even better. Okay, so you had a nice firm bed last night. Good, good, good. Yeah. Anyway, it's a nice English day today, isn't it, out there? In Ireland, we say it's a nice, soft day. So, yeah, it means God's blessings are pouring down upon us, right? So there'll be 1,000 ships sailing up the Hudson, the Thames River today with Her Majesty. By the way, we did invite her to this workshop, but she said, we are otherwise occupied. So, sorry, we couldn't get her here. She will come eventually. And here or there. And anyway, I feel, yesterday we had really a wonderful, wonderful presentations. And yesterday I had a chance to sit and talk with Reverend Young, and he was sharing that today he'll be revealing actually many new things that none of us have heard in previous presentations. So keep your eyes and ears open, and I think that we'll be learning many things. And also, as yesterday, please write down any questions you might have, pass them up to the front, and then Reverend Young will be dealing with them throughout the day. So before we actually start the lecture presentations, we're going to watch again a short video. Okay.
안 돼? 영상 틀어줘. 읽어줘야 되는데. 누가 읽어줘야 되는데.
pain we experience in life is like untainted salt. The extent of its saltiness, however, differs depending on the container. If you find yourself in pain, stop being like a cup and instead strive to be like a lake. Okay, very important lesson for all of us.
Good morning, everyone. 비디오 보시면서 무엇을 느끼셨나요? 우리가 인간이 타락함으로 우리 마음이 정말로 하나님의 넓은 세계 속에서 살지 못하고 컵과 같은 가두어진 마음 상태로 살았습니다.
We could not believe and understand
이제
God's heart.
이 기원절을 앞두고
But from now on,
우리 마음이 타락하지 않은 본연의 인간으로 돌아와서
we hope that our heart will be able to come back to this original human mind and become again like this lake. Then we will be able to see heaven. Or feel heaven. Do you guys actually feel heaven when you leave? Because we still have the fallen human nature, we cannot really living in this life is really hard. And we live without feeling anything. We live without feeling God's heart and our original mind. So today, with this open mind, let's start True Parents Life Course. So I spoke yesterday in the first hour yesterday, I gave you the reason and the proof why true father are the parents. And I explained how he how he got the call and how he decided to have a heart to be able to continue and to start and continue his mission. So of course I can keep speaking about that, but because there's not more time with you guys today, I know that these days there's a lot of there are lots of things happening today in London as well, and it's hard for you to go back home. So I'm gonna try and finish our lecture at 6 p.m. In True Father's Life course, he lived 3 types of life. He had 3 stages, in his life course. He lived as a Messiah, he lived as a True Parents, and as a King of Kings. I think that's the end.
성부님이 1920년부터 60년까지는 메시아로서 준비된 그 삶을 사셨고,
So in his first part of his life, he had the
그리고
life course as a
60년부터
Messiah.
2000년까지 40년은
And from 1960 to 2000, it's another 40
당신은
years.
완성한 아담으로 오셨지만
Even though when he came as
한 여인을 택하사
he came
그
as
여인을
the third Adam,
8단계로 성장시켜서
and then he was able to actually help Eve
메시아의
remove
부인이
her
되게
fallen
하시고,
nature and become
그래서
the bride
부모로서
of
인류
the
부모를
Messiah,
위한
and then
삶을 사시는
live
것이
a life as true
부모의
parents.
생노동이라고 볼 수가 있어요.
That was his cause as true parents with true mother. Yeah.
그리고 2001년부터 현재
Then from
진행형인데요.
2001 up to now,
이제 만왕의 왕의 삶을
He's
사시는데
living a life of King of Kings.
부부로서 메시아가 오셔서 천부모가 되고
And
그 천부모의
became as a
몸 속에
Messiah.
하나님이 들어오셔서
They're living as a temple.
천부모이자 그
God
하나님이자
actually was
구분할 수
able to
없는
come into their life.
그런 하나님이 함께 사는 무형의 하나님이
These are really
유형의 하나님이
they
되어서 사는 삶을
they were able to actually make
King
the
of
invisible
the
God
Kings, 즉
become
만왕의
like a
왕의
visible
생애로
God
되라고 합니다.
and living through them.
그러니까 지금 참 부모님이 사는 삶은 만왕의 왕의 삶,
So
즉
this
하나님이
life
그 채를 쓰고
of
들어와서
God, so God is
함께
actually
사시는
able
그
to live now as a
시대가
King of
지금의
Kings.
시대라고
We are
볼
in
수가
an
있습니다.
era where God is actually living as a King of Kings through them in the physical
그러면
world.
여러분들 이제 질문할 거예요.
So I'm going to ask you a question.
그럼 참 부모님이
So true Father,
곧 하나님이시네요.
he resembles God.
거기에 대해서 어떻게
What do you
생각하십니까?
think about that?
참 부모님
So
이꼬로
true parents is
하나님이시니까
equals to God, sorry. Do you believe that?
역시 영국 식구들은 대단한 믿음을 가졌습니다.
The American, here the British people are very, the English people are very clever.
육신적으로
Very
또
strong
하나님이고 마음적으로도 하나님과 닮았으면 똑같이 니꼬로 개념입니까?
So, do you think he lives in one Dasham? Yes. Oh, so you think he's actually equal to God?
자, 우리 식구들이 원리를 잘하는 것 같아도
Even if you
원리를
actually
원리 강론을 제대로
trust-
못 읽은 분들이 많아요. 이 영어 버전은
sorry.
그 같은 페이지인 줄 모르겠지만
even if you trust God,
버전의 프린시플 260쪽 이하를 쭉 읽다 보면 소 제목이 나옵니다. 작은 제목이
so there's a
예수님은
small and the subtopic
하나님 자신인가
in the Bible, and it says is in the divine principle, saying
읽어보신 분 있으세요?
is Jesus
No, true parents.
예?
Is a
원리 강론에
same as God or no?
is there's one in the divine principle. There's a subtopic that says is Jesus is a true parents actually the same as God. There's a subtopic like that. Did anyone read that?
예수님에게 질문합니다.
So then Philip asked Jesus,
하나님을 보여주세요.
"Show me God."
그러니까 예수님이 말한다는 게 뭐라고 했냐면
So what did Jesus say about
나를
that?
보았거를 어찌하여
How can you ask me to show you God? If you saw me, you saw God.
그 얘기는 무슨 뜻이죠?
What does that mean?
그럼 내가
Hi,
하나님이라는 뜻이잖아요.
that means I am God.
예수님 자신이
So,
하나님이라는 뜻이잖아요.
so that means Jesus is God.
나를 보았거를
If you saw me, how can you ask me, show me God, show me the Father?
거기에서 예수님이
So then
우리에게 헷갈리게 말하고
Jesus was quite, Philip was quite confused about that question. What does that mean?
분명한 것은
So then,
원리 강론에 해서
so for example, if we continue understanding the divine principle and read it, then why do you, from outside,
External.
from external point, Jesus
영원한 아버지와
and God
아들의 관계
had the relationship of Father and
형태적으로
Son.
형태적으로 영원한 아버지와
So externally, they were Father and Son. That was their relationship.
근데 예수님은
But Jesus,
이 지상에 온 인간 중에 유일하게 타락하지 않은 존재이기 때문에
so because Jesus actually
그
came
세계는
as someone that was not, that did not have the original seed and didn't have fallen natures.
그러니까 마음 세계의 완성은
Because
하나님과 같은
Because so in his heart, in his mind, and he was actually exactly as God.
어떠세요?
Do you understand?
여기에서 예수님이
So-
나를 보았거늘
So that's why Jesus was able to say,
하나님을 보여달라
how can you ask me to show you the Father when I am one with the Father? Because he was already one,
마음 세계가
he was talking about his heart.
존재로서
Because he was already one with the Father.
완성됐기
He had completed like that. That's why he was saying that.
아버님이
Father
만왕의 삶을 산다고 하는 것은
lives as a life of King of Kings, and of course, he is living as well as a son and and the same relationship as a son and a father with God. But he came in here.
심정 세계를 완성을 갖고 계시기 때문에
But because he also has the same heart as
하나님과
he has the same heart as Jesus as well, and he does the same. He has the same mission, and he's been living in that kind of life. Then of course he is as well one with God. Yeah. Do you understand?
이게 중요한 개념입니다.
That's very important.
헷갈려요.
That's a very important concept.
그래서 메시아로서의 삶과
So his life as a Messiah, his life as a true parent, and his life goals as a King of Kings, being one with God, as God could come in through him and now reside in him. The fact that he's living together with God is the next history life.
메시아는 선택이 아니라
So basically, like I told you yesterday, the Messiah is sent,
아들로 오신 한 분이
not chosen. He is the direct Son of God, and there's only one Messiah. It is someone that doesn't come from a fallen lineage. That is someone that actually was chosen as a direct Son of God. That was the same situation for Adam, the first, and then second Adam, Jesus, and the third Adam, true Father.
하나님의 직계 아들로
These three people were actually direct sons of God, sent without any. They were prepared and sent.
아버님은 이제 메시아의 자각을 통해서 16세 때
So when
이제
true Father realized that he had to become the Messiah, he lived this substantial life in order to save humankind.
완수해야 됩니다.
So that was his mission after he realized he was the Messiah.
뭐 잘게 자르면
So if we just say it in 4 or 5
될 수가 있어요.
points,
그러나 핵심적으로 메시아 사명을
what is his, but we can give, what are the core
가지로
things
설명할 수가 있습니다.
that as for a mission of a Messiah? We can say it in 5 points. First, he has to find and proclaim the truth.
어제도 강의했습니다.
Even yesterday,
인간
I did explain that because
잃어버린 것은
when human beings failed and when the fallen human beings failed, they lost the word.
그래서 인간 다시
So,
찾아서 오는 것은
in order to be able
교육을 시켜야 되고
refine them, they have to find the word again. They have to go back, and they have to be able to come back into God's lineage.
말씀을 찾아서
So basically, they have to find the truth and proclaim it. Secondly, the mission of the Messiah is to recreate and complete Eve.
지상의 여성 중에서
So amongst the ladies on the earth,
한 사람을 택하사
there's one person is chosen.
90%
So for example,
8단계의 여성이 성장하는 신정권을 잃어버렸는데
so Lucifer, because of Lucifer and the way he stole from what he stole from Eve was not just her life, but there were 8 things that he did. So it was the daughter, the sister, the wife's heart, the mother's heart,
할머니의 심정,
the grandmother's heart,
여왕의 심정,
the queen's heart,
그리고 하나님과 일치
and the heart of her becoming one, completed with God.
마지막으로
So
하나님의
finally, the heart of her becoming one, the wife of God. These 8 levels of heart was removed when Eve fell, and Lucifer removed it from her. So, in order for her to be restored and become back as one
부모의 위상을 찾기
original Eve, she has to find the right Adam
해야 됩니다.
and then get married later on.
몸이 없으신 하나님이
So, because God doesn't have a physical body,
부모의 몸 속에 들어가서
he has to be able to enter into our true Father's heart and then once a true father becomes one with God, they can get married with Eve. So you probably read in the principle of give and take. Sorry, you probably know. The dual characteristics of God. So basically, God basically, as the new Adam will be recreated, and how that will happen will be God will come into him, and then he will be able to marry and complete his mission with Eve. So when you read the divine principle, the part of the creation, you probably understood some of this, and so he has to be able to complete this, complete Eve. Thirdly, he has to complete human beings on earth and in the spirit world. So, for example, even those who went to the spirit world are human beings, all of them, and the ones who are living as well. He has to be able to complete the restoration of these two types of being. So beings on earth as well as spirit world. Fourthly, he needs to liberate God and complete the freedom and complete freedom and completion. So I'm going to ask you a question. A fallen human being, how can a fallen human being actually liberate become one with the God? What? How can a fallen human being actually complete and liberate God? Does that make any sense to you? Is that possible? Is that possible to actually complete? No? But then True Father says that. And our Unification Church members are a cult. So and this is the kind of things that the Christians are. How can we, as fallen human beings, be able to actually complete and free God? Then how can the person that actually, even if the Messiah, the person chosen, is a very great person, how can he actually complete God? That kind of question that comes up sometimes in Christian theology about us. So of course, the Christian theologies and the Christians, they can't understand this. So, of course, unification is the call, yeah? To them. What do you think? Oh, someone is saying yes there. So, I will explain about that. So, in order to become a parent, do you need to be by yourself? Who makes you a parent? Children. So even if you got married and you're together, but if you don't have children, if there's no descendant that will call you father or mother, or mom, dad, you will never be a parent. For you to become a parent, that's not something you become yourself. It's because you have a child or children.
Children has the key.
Children have the key for you to become parents. So basically, the children make you a parent. So God is the father of the human beings. So even though He's a wonderful God, if He has to become a parent, He will need the human beings to actually approve Him as a parent. So if He cannot, have people that will actually recognize or approve him or see him as a parent, then he will not be a parent.
절대로 갖고 있지 않아요.
He doesn't have it. He's not absolute.
자녀인 인간이
So us as children, we are the one that make him a parent.
그 말은 무슨 말입니까?
Do you understand that? What kind of question?
자녀인 인간이 타락해가지고
It's because
미완성된
we fell and we could not be completed.
하나님도
So,
미완성된
of course, God never got completed.
하나님도 미완성된
God, as a parent, could never be completed as a parent.
인간이 완성됐을 때
So once we get completed, then God as well can be able to stand as a parent.
understand?
Do you understand?
그래서 하나님 완성은 누구로부터?
So who can complete God?
인간으로부터
Human beings.
자녀로부터
Because of his children.
understand?
Do you understand?
기가 막히죠?
That's 기가 막혀.
기가 막히면 이해를 못해요.
From Christian theory, they can understand.
So the Christians cannot understand this.
제가 미국에 가서
This is very strange to them. When I went to America and I was
기독교 목사님들이 많이 왔어요.
lecturing, many Christians came, well, especially the Christian leaders, the priests. They got very surprised. Oh my God. So that's what it means. Oh yeah.
아버님 위대하고
So then, True Father is not just. So he's such a great man and he's trying to become a Messiah. But indirectly, they felt that.
이 강의를 다 들으면
After listening completely to the lectures, they're like, wow, that is definitely the Messiah. So, of course, they felt that.
우리가 원리가
Yes.
이렇게 위대해요.
Because the Divine Principle is a great book.
자, 그래서
So,
하나님 완성은 하나님이 가지고 있는 것이
so
아니라
of course, the completion of God will not. It's not something that God has or holds. It's thanks to us, the human beings,
와서
that
본원의
and
인간의 부모가
that He can become again parent, and also true Father.
하나님의 자녀로 만들었어.
His mission now is to help us to actually remove our fallen natures, remove all the fallen natures, and become one again with God.
Go back to original
So,
position.
which means we be able to go back to the original position and make God a Father.
예사의 다섯 번째
So
사람.
the fifth one,
이건 처음 듣는 분도 계실
I'm
거예요.
sure there are people that will hear this for the first time.
창조해서
His mission is to create female angels and complete the angelic world.
지금까지
So up to now,
남자 천사가
the
없었어요.
angelic world only had men or
이제
male
여자 천사를 창조해
angels. So this time,
쌍을 이루게 했어.
as we know, everything has to go in pairs. He has to be able to
완성의
create female angels. I told you that for the completion, yesterday I told you for the completion of anything, we need a pair.
에너지가 안 나오고
So without, you cannot have any, you cannot generate energy, you can't do anything if you don't have a pair. So
생산 기능이
in order for this to happen, we need a pair, and we need, of course, the female.
New creation.
천사적인 인간보다 먼저 만들어졌어요.
So
근데 인간과 다른 점을
So of course God first created human beings.
Angel first.
First created the angels, sorry.
인간은
But what is the difference between angels and the human beings?
작용하고 번식할 수 있도록 창조가 되었고
So of course,
천사 세계는 먼저 창조가 되었지만
even though the angelic world was created first,
창조되지 않았기 때문에
it wasn't created for with pairs. So it was impossible for them to recreate, to reproduce. So even though the angelic world was first, before humankind, which is Adam and Eve, they cannot be completed. So for example, after, so of course, once he wanted first the humankind to be completed, And that's how he created that way.
이제 여러분들
Do you understand that?
들어가는 분들은
Yeah?
이해하실 거예요.
Do you understand? Do you understand?
그 이후에 백그라운드도 이해하실 거예요.
Do you understand the background as well?
야, 하나님이 그러면 왜 인간을 창조했냐?
So then why do you think God created human beings?
인간은 하나님의 대상일 뿐만 아니라 더 중요한 것은
It wasn't just because he wanted human beings to be his partners, but because he wanted human beings to be one with him.
하나님 죄가 없으세요.
God doesn't have any sin, any problem.
완성되려면
And so,
쌓아줘야 되는데
of course, for him to be able to complete it as well, he needs a partner as well.
그 유형이
So he, as an invisible,
만나야
he has to meet a physical form of himself
번식하고
and then become one with that physical form.
생산물이 나와요.
And then, of course, he can have more. He can reproduce more
그런데 인간의 창조 목적은
human beings.
무형이신
So, for example, him as in order for this to happen, he wanted him as an invisible person. That's why he created human beings, because he wanted to be able to become one with, to have a physical being, be physical on the earth. So, for example, so human beings are actually the second form of God. Do you understand?
예, 아주 중요한.
This is a very important point.
그러면 천사세계 인간보다 먼저 만들었음에도 불구하고.
So again, he's repeating himself. I'm sure you understood now why, first of all, the angelic world was created. So, once human beings get completed, then God gets completed. Then, of course, when the completed physical God is completed, then again, he will be able to do the angelic world and be a creator as well. So I will explain that more in the following slides. Today it's raining. Sorry. And it's a bit dark. I'm sure that's why there's so many people that will be a bit tired. Today, when I finish, I'll give you a test about the mission of True Father.
You will see how many people can.
And I'll see how many can do it. Yeah? Are you okay? Those who are listening from the bottom in other halls. We heard you. Thank you. So these 5 missions. Can you? I'm hoping that you all will get 100% and in remembering these 5 points. So I will say it again. Let's read together.
2.
I want to swallow.
3. 4.
Let's go.
5.
I can see you red. I can see you red.
이렇게 이제 외우려면 여러분들 힘드실 거예요. 심플하게 외우는 방법.
So, for example, yeah,
Simple way to remember.
첫째,
it's a simple way for you to remember.
진리 완성.
First thing, truth and faith. Completion of truth. I'm trying to help you memorize, yeah?
두 번째,
Secondly,
해와 완성.
completion of Eve.
세 번째,
Thirdly,
인간 완성.
human beings, completion of human beings.
네 번째,
Fourthly,
하나님 완성.
God's completion.
다섯 번째,
Fifth,
천사 세계 완성.
the completion of angels.
Very simple.
So that's simple.
자, 100점 못
I-
받을 분 없지요?
There will be no one that won't have 100%, yeah?
네, 그렇습니다.
So that's it.
하면 다섯 가지를
So these are the 5 missions of our True Father. So keep that in your head and let's continue the lecture.
아버님은 이 사명 완수를 위해서
So in Trungpa's life course,
인간이 이해하지 못하는 길을 걸었다.
to accomplish the mission. So
1998년 9월
in
26일
1998, on the 26th of
사랑의 십자가를
September, he said, I carry the cross of true love.
인간들이 어제도 말씀했듯이
Just like I said yesterday,
타락하지 않은 하나님의 직계 아들로
he,
왔기 때문에
because True Father came as
나왔을 때에
Direct son.
오리지널
True Father came as a direct son that wasn't tainted by the fallen world.
그 내용을 갖고 계시지만 인간들은 타락한 존재이기 때문에
Even
이미
he knows
세상의
already
법과
this.
세상이 가르쳐주는 진리에 따라서
He knows all the truth and the faith,
자기 가치관을 형성했기 때문에
and because he's one with God,
인간이 타락하지 않았을 때 오리지널 폼을 모릅니다.
he has to be able to teach to the human beings the original world.
오리지널 폼과에는 갭이 있어요.
So, for example, there's a gap from us who are actually from in this position where we actually are not one with God.
하루아침에 뛰어넘어서
So,
너희들 오리지널 폼대로
for example, it would be hard for him to say, for example, to us human beings, just live like you were in your original form. No one will follow, no one will understand.
메시아는
So the Messiah,
세상의 법에
he will have to understand the life of this world and the laws of this world,
오리지널 폼
and then how he can be able to bring us and what kind of different stages he has to go through and how to be able to restore the human beings in our state.
고통스러워요.
And that for him is so painful and so difficult
알지 못하니까.
because we don't understand.
그렇기 때문에 참 사랑의 십자가를 지고
So
나는 이 길을 왔다.
I went through this law, I carry this cross of true love up to now. That's the kind of the word he has been saying for a long time. And that is the reason why he said he carried the cross of true love. Because he, as Messiah, he had been living a life of following the laws of us human beings and still trying to live his life as a Messiah.
2009년 1월 15일 날
So,
또 말씀하시기를
again in 2009, he said again,
너희들을 구원하기 위해서
in order for me to resurrect and perfect you, well, how do you think I did it?
너희를
I
구원하는
created
내용을
different
두 번째로
conditions.
하는 그것을 할 때마다
And every time I did this,
7번의
I died 7 times. I went through 7 deaths.
한번 태어나서
So, for example, Jesus, the second Adam, he was born once, and he died once, and he went to earth.
이 고통을 아느냐?
But do you understand this?
싶어도
Even though if for someone that actually wants to die and is not able to die, someone who actually feels exactly the same pain as someone who had died, you feel it and then you're still living, and that's 7. Do you understand that kind of road? To come to the point of death up to 7 times during my lifetime, and then. And what are the different types of deaths he went through? The first one,
The Holy Wine
the first thing, for example, the first one he did was to find the Holy Wine ceremony after it.
참 씨를 접붙여야 됩니다.
And then he was able to create the first seed,
이것을
true seed for
물리적인
us.
입장에서 무식하게 본다면
So if we ignore this,
타락하지 않은 메시아가 1대1로 부부관계를 맺어요.
if we ignore this, we'll not be able to understand how he. I don't know.
If
중요한 거예요. 통역 제대로 하면 이거.
예, 좀.
people might understand that you just sex with Messiah.
Oh, okay.
You
Oh.
might misunderstand that way
Sorry, if we don't understand properly, we might just think that, for example, for his when he was married, he just wanted to have sex with the Messiah. The different people wanted to just have sex with him.
or
the Messiah wanted to just. But during his first. But for example, his first
내가 목숨을 줄 테니까
marriage.
너는 내가
And
목숨을
second,
주는 대신에
these are the
이것을
different
해라.
types of things he went through.
그리고 참씨를 번식한
So for example,
똑같은
again,
동등한 조건을
he-
내가 세웠더니
even though I created so many different conditions, he created. And then Satan, who was trying so hard to get out of a Satan's dominion and not have Satan to get him.
확실히 해야 돼.
So you have to understand that clearly that he was trying so hard. So again, he was giving again his
빼앗아 와서
because his life, because he was nearly
타락한 일,
dying,
타락하지 않은
and he wanted to.
Condition he got.
아들로 딸로
So because he was able to fulfill this, then he could actually come. Because he was able to fulfill this, he could get the seed of being again the true Messiah. He had to overcome all this. So even though I'm saying 7 deaths and 8 resurrection,
그래서 그런 삶을 사시고
so living this kind of life,
가 뭐냐면 하나님의 4대 주류
he
소스를
went through the 4 attributes of God. He
여러분들
found 4 core attributes of God.
여러분들 마음속에 하나님의 성품을 갖고 계십니까?
Do you have actually in your mind God's characteristics?
아니면 사탄의 성품을 갖고
Or
계십니까?
do you have Satan's characteristics?
이게 중요합니다.
This is very important.
여러분들은 타락하지 않았다면
If you guys had not fallen,
하나님의 성품을 갖고
then
계셔야 되겠죠.
you would be able to understand the core attributes of. You would have the core attributes of God. Don't you think so?
인간이 타락함으로 말미암아
But because human beings fell,
우리는 사탄의 성품을 가지고
we have Satan's attributes.
메시아가
The Messiah,
인간을 완전히 구원해내려면
if for the Messiah to be able to completely restore human beings, he has to be able to help the human beings get into the 4 core attributes of
오늘
God.
강의의 이 포인트가
And
바로
I'm going. This is basically the main point of this lecture.
그러면 하나님의 성품을 어떻게
So,
구별해야 됩니까?
how can we find the 4 attributes of God?
이 말씀을 오늘 여러분들이 확실히 알아야
You guys have to understand this
무엇이 달라져야 되고 어떻게
4 core
변화를
attributes
해야 되는지
clearly.
알 수가 있습니다. 하나님의 4대 주로 속성을
So,
1999년 9월 5일
so in Belvedere in 1999, on the 5th of September,
완성
in the speech of perfection of love, he actually found this
하나님의 속성은 16가지로
attributes of God, and he separated in 16 attributes.
하나님의 성품은 내적인 성품과
So God has
외적인
internal attributes and external attributes.
이 내적인 성품에는
So the internal attributes,
절대,
absolute,
유일,
unique,
불변,
unchanging, and
영원이라고
eternal.
하는 내적인 성품.
And the external attributes are.
이 내적인 성품이 외적으로 나타나게 되는데
So even in the
이
external
내적인
attributes
성품이
still do
마음이라
exist in the internal attributes.
이 외적인 성품은 몸과 같은 부분으로서
So for example, the external ones are a bit like the body,
이 내적인 성품이
and the
드러나는
internal
것은
ones.
외적인 형태의 성품을 통해서 나타난다.
So for example, the internal attributes can be seen are projected into our external form.
외적인 성품은
So the external
창조성,
are creativity, subjectivity, relationship, and unification.
말씀해 주시죠.
These are the 4 external attributes.
이것이 무슨 의미인지
So what does it mean?
깊게 한번 알아보도록 하겠습니다.
I'll try and
먼저
explain that
내적인
carefully.
성품에 대해서 알아보도록 하겠습니다.
So I'll try and explain first the internal attributes.
이 내적인 성품 절대 유일 불변 영원은
So the actually absolute, unique, unchanging, and eternal.
가정 맹세를 통해서
So when you actually do the family pledge,
많이 들은 이야기.
you've probably heard that a lot.
그런데 여러분들 이 절대가 뭐고
But
유일이 뭐고
this
불변이 뭐고
absolute,
영원이 뭐고
unique, unchanging, and external, do you actually know it?
아버님 이것을 설명하기 전에
Before True Father explained this,
절대와 유일은
he first said that absolute and unique are always pairs,
그리고 불변과 영원은
and
한
unchanging and external as well are pairs.
쌍. 이렇게 전제하시고
That's how he explains it.
이 절대 속에
And this, in the absolute,
유일, 불변, 영원히 들어가요.
there is a uniqueness, unchanging, and external as well. And then in unique as well, there is absolute, unchanging, and external.
그리고 불변 속에도
And in unchanging as well, there is absolute, unique, and eternal. And in eternal, there is also absolute, unique, and unchanging characteristics.
이것은
So
통합되어
these ones
하나된 개념도
have to, of course, these ones have to be one. There's that kind of concept as well.
단어적으로
But just word by word, there is also different concept and understanding. So by themselves,
다른 개념이
they are also different.
전체적으로 통합되어 있기도 하지만
Of course, they are also all united, and all of them can be connected together. But they can also be all separate.
절대가 뭐죠?
So what's absolute?
자, 절대가 뭐죠?
What's absolute?
절대가 뭐죠?
What's absolute?
목사님? 솔직하세요.
Be honest.
He was honest.
Oh, he was honest. He said, I don't know. That's
법칙과 원칙 안에서의 질서를 말합니다.
so absolute refers to our.
법칙과 원칙 안에서의 질서를 말한다고
Law.
말씀하십니다.
So it refers to law,
Law. Orders.
order, and law.
하나님이
So,
6일 동안 천지를 창조하실 때
So during the 6 days of creation,
법칙과 질서에
he
의해서
created
이 세상을
everything in following the law and order.
Yeah, that's right.
이 세상을 창조할 때
When he created the universe,
것이 아니라
It's not vaguely done.
he wasn't just doing it anyhow.
당신의 선을 중심 삼고
He made it.
He needed his blueprint.
법칙과
He made it with his
질서를
blueprint
통해서
through law and order, his own law and order.
자, 하나님은
So God,
온전하신 분이기 때문에
even though he's a completed God,
법과 질서를
and he had created law and order,
안 지켜도 될 수도
do you think he's also? It's also maybe it's possible for him to not follow his own law,
그러나
but
하나님은 당신이 만든 법이지만
because
그 법 속에 들어가서
because he created this law and order,
그 법을
he actually
그 법을
followed it and wanted to actually complete that law.
당신이 말한 진리를
And
실천함으로써
so in that way, he will be able to act it out and complete it.
understand?
Do you understand?
아무리 전지전능한 하나님이라고 하더라도
Even if it's a great God,
만든 법을
And
안
one-
지키면
if he doesn't follow his own
지킬 수 있어요.
law, who will follow it?
그러나 당신은 전지전능하신 하나님으로서 그 법과 질서를
So this
통해서
eternal and changing
법과 질서를 지키는
God,
모델이 되시고
great God, he had to become
완성의
and
법을
he had to become one with the law. He had to complete the laws of the creation and the orders that he had created.
그것이 바로
So that
절대.
is what absolute is.
자, 우리가 그러면 하나님을 닮는다는 개념이
So if we think that we're gonna
어떻게 해야 된다?
become one with and resemble God, then what should we do?
우리가 타락의
We-
수준으로 절대를 잃어버렸어요.
Because we actually lost absoluteness.
지키지 못한
Whatever we don't even
완전한
we're not even
존재가 되었어요.
able to follow or accept our own words.
몸이 시키는 대로 하는 존재가 되어버렸어요.
We became some kind of people that just follow what others have,
Body.
follow our body.
Yeah.
understand?
Do you understand?
그러니까 하나님을 닮는다는 것은 이 세계는 운행하는 질서가 있는데 서로를 위하여 존재하는 그 운행의 질서에
So-
법칙에 맞게
So for us to be able to become like God, we have to be able to follow the absolute, and even in the freedom, we have to be able to make our body tired and heavy.
Habit.
We have to make a habit. Sorry, we have to make it a habit.
우리는 인연된 개체와 내가 겪은 유일한 사랑을 말한다라고 말씀하셨어요.
So again, there's the uniqueness.
예, 인연된 개체와 내가 겪은 유일한 사랑.
What's uniqueness? Again,
자, 이것이 무슨 말이냐면
I'm telling you what it is.
네, 쉽게 이해를 드리겠습니다.
Very simply.
여기 우리 권사님을
For example, this is our leader here.
제가 이제 예를 들어서
For example, if I came to you
권사님은
and
하나님의 자녀이죠.
you're God's child, yeah?
하나님이
And then God
권사님을 사랑.
loves you.
1대1로 사랑하죠.
He loves you as a
이
one-to-one.
1대1로 사랑을 권사님과 나누는 것은
And this love that He shares with you, no one else can actually feel it.
이 권사님과 나만
It will only be you
경험하는 세계예요.
and me, that kind of feeling, relationship. Sorry.
그럴 때 이 권사님은 유일한 하나님의 사랑을 느끼죠.
So in that case, you'll be able to love this unique God. You are only feeling that experience of only me loving God and God loving me. But then God, that's because He's not. But actually, God is not only having a relationship just with you, but you feel that way. But God also has a one-to-one relationship with someone else as well. But so when God actually shares a one-to-one love with you, that person actually feels that love 100% and believes that it's me and God. But for when God, so on God's position, He actually loves everyone one-to-one, individually, but which is very unique. So you have a unique relationship with Him. But for you, you see it one-to-one. He loves me. Do you understand?
쉽게 얘기하면
If I explain it more simply,
가정에서 자녀가 있습니다.
you have children, for example, in your family.
첫째
The first,
자녀가 있고 둘째 자녀가
second,
있고 셋째 자녀가 있고.
third.
자, 첫째 자녀와
So the
1대1
first,
사랑을
so you share your love with your first child, yeah, one-to-one.
둘째, 셋째는
And second,
엄마와 첫째와 관계 맺는 것을 경험하지 못합니다.
so the first and when the second and third come, they don't feel. The first one doesn't feel that way anymore.
자기만을 사랑하는 것으로 느껴요.
He doesn't feel that one anymore, and everyone else thinks that the second and third.
퍼센티지로 똑같이
But the second and third actually as well feel the same way. But actually, you are giving the same love everywhere, but to every child. And that's exactly what happens with God. So He's giving to each and every one 100% one-to-one. And that's the kind of love.
하고 있습니다.
That's the kind of love He has with us.
그러나 인간 개체가 느끼는
But
것은
then, how the
1대1의 사랑이
so that's how the human beings can feel a one-to-one love relationship with Him.
understand?
Do you understand?
예, 그런 것이 하나님의 사랑의 세계예요.
That's true. That's God's
우리
love,
인간은
heart,
그분의 사랑으로
world of love.
그렇게 사랑하고 있어요.
So that's that's the parents' world of love towards the children.
자, 그다음에
And next
불변입니다.
is unchanging nature, unchanging.
사랑의 본질을
So
않는데
normally love doesn't change.
자,
The
지금
original love doesn't
인류
change.
역사가 시작된
Original person as well doesn't change.
골드와
In the,
다이아몬드가
for example, here in this history up to now, in this gold and diamond are the most unchanging things in the world, in this world.
We often say that.
We often say that.
많은 보수적 가치가 있는
Even though there's so many different types of treasures,
인류 역사 이래
In this world,
보석의 자리를 놓친
there are no-
유일한 존재가
there's only gold and diamond that is in the position of unchanging in this whole world. Why? There's so many different types of jewels. Why? Because it doesn't change.
화산이 폭발된 날이라고
Volcano happened.
So even if the volcano happens, the gold might actually form in a different way, but it will still remain the gold. It won't change, even if it is alright.
그래야 안 돼요?
The form might change. Is that alright?
이거 쉬운 얘기도 이제
That's even very simple. But then you guys don't even answer.
또 화납니다.
So I'm gonna get angry now.
저는
I
강의하고 싶지 않아요.
I don't really want to give a not interesting lecture. I want to be interesting.
작용하지 않는 강의하고 싶지 않아요.
I don't want to be boring.
대답을 확실하셔야
So you guys have to really answer.
시간을 압축할 수 있고
Then I could read. You can save time and we can finish at 6.
대답을 안 하면
You don't answer, then we will just continue, and I'll repeat myself and repeat myself.
자 골드는
So sorry.
폭발되어도
So then, even if gold has been touched by volcano or heat, the form just changes, but it's still gold. Diamond,
아무리 쪼개고
even if you break,
다른 광물은 그 입자 자체의
it's still,
조건 자체가 달라지는데
even if the size or whatever the condition changes, diamond still remains diamond. The size just reduces.
그 입자의 형태가
But so as again, the form just reduces, but it's just the same. It's still diamond. The value is the same. That's why in this world we see these jewels and the treasure as unchanging.
하나님의 사랑도 마찬가지로
And I tell you what, God's love is the same.
불변하신 사랑의 개념이 변하지 않는 데 있습니다.
It doesn't change.
인간이 타락했음에도
Even
불구하고
though we have done mistakes for 6,000 years,
하나님은 부모의 사랑을
because he has got this heart of love and heart of a parent, and he will always want to try and restore. And that's the reason why he keeps continuing whatever happens, because it's unchanging
변하지 않는
and it doesn't change. Do you understand?
그것이 불변의 사랑.
So that's what is the meaning of unchanging.
이제 가정 맹세한테
So then
내용을 제대로 알고
that's good, because when you now listen, when you do now the family pledge, you will be understanding it, huh?
해석을 안 해주면
So if I don't explain, you will not know. If we don't explain, but this is all through Father's words. If we read, then we might understand.
자, 그다음에 영원히
So what is eternal?
이 영원이라고 하는 것은 사랑한 만큼 무소부재한
So eternal is a very difficult word and complicated, just like love.
내가 여기에 계신 분을
So for example, this person here,
70% 사랑합니다.
I love you 70%. If I loved you 70%,
근데 70% 사랑을 하면서
if by loving him 70%,
100%의 권위를 가지고
with the authority of,
If I order him something,
if I order him something,
이분은
for
반발할까요? 안 반발할까요?
if I tell him to do something, would you think he'd do it or not?
사랑받지 못하고
Because he would not. Because there's 30%, he will do something as if he will not do 100% because he doesn't feel that 100%.
근데 반대로
he will
내가
repay
이분을
30%.
70% 사랑하면서
He will actually work so with 30%.
50%의 명령을 내린다면
But if I give him 50% love,
이분은 사랑받은 것이 더 크기 때문에
because he receives more love, what do you think he will do? Less love, what do you think he'll do?
그 명령을
How he will do it?
수행할까요? 안 할까요?
How will he do it? Do you think he'll do it? Yeah, of course.
받은 것이 더 크기 때문에
if he gets another 50% more of love, of course, he will do it.
그렇잖아요?
Don't you think so?
이제 대답하기 시작했어요.
So that's good. Wow, you guys have started answering.
자, 그렇기 때문에
So,
그러니까 내가 그 사람의
so,
마음속에
so me, if I, for example, I go.
100% 자리매김하려면 어떻게 해야 될까요?
So if I want to be if I want to be able to move him 100%, how do I do?
100%의 사랑.
When you,
일하는 사람에게 100%의 사랑.
if I give him a
사람에게 100%의 사랑을 준다면
if I give 100% of love to all of these people,
죽었어도
even if I die,
영원히 산.
I will be able to live eternally.
그 사람들
Because in these people's heart,
100%의
because I left 100% of my love in these people's heart, even after I die,
나의 사랑이 그 사람을 컨트롤하고
they will be able to control this love.
그 사람 마음속에 살아있는
The love will control them. Because in each of them, they will have my love and I will be alive.
하나님의 사랑.
That's God's love.
왜 인류 모든 공동체의 영원한 사랑.
So God's love is actually like that to everyone. Because He's giving 100%. He's giving 100%, just like the parents are giving 100%,
That's why it lasted us.
and that's why it would last eternally.
자, 여러분들 어머니가 돌아가신 분들이
So there are some people here that probably maybe their mothers died, and then their parents, their father might have died. So when your mother died physically or your dad died physically, and then while you're living, when you have any problem or any difficulty, then you start feeling your dad's love or your mom's love in your heart. You can start realizing that, oh wow, you start thinking about different things that they have done to you. Why? Because you had received love from them. So then my parents had actually controlled, and my parents had actually have the love for me and had fed that love in me. But if you hadn't received any love, so if God actually gives this 100% love to all of us as He's giving, and then we can feel it, then we'll be able to also feel this eternal love. So in our life, if we also very similar to God, if we actually resemble God, then we are able to give as well 100% of our love to anyone, then as well we will become eternal. So just as much as we love, then 100%, then we will also be able to remain in those people's heart 100%. Do you understand? So, what is God's love? It's absoluteness created by law, uniqueness, the love of Him give by one unique love He gives to each and every one of us. That's what unique is, 1-to-1 here, and then completely unchanging. Just whatever happens, the value is the same, and then giving of 100%, making it eternal in us,
It remains in.
and remaining in us 100%. This is the love. This is the world of love of God. So that's not something I'm talking about. If the fallen human beings had not fallen, then in our mind and our heart we would just be able to understand this, and we would just be able to live in that way. And that would be even more easy for us. Do you understand?
그리고 이제 넘기지 마세요. 자, 이 내적인 속성이
And these internal attributes
부분이어서
are like the mind.
사랑이 나타날 때는
And when this actually is created, then of course external form. Then when the external form,
통해서 나타난다고
it will show in the external form if we have this internally.
그 외적인 성품이
So externally,
창조성, 주체성,
creativity, subjectivity, relationship, and unification.
아버님은 먼저 주체성.
So first, True Father talked about creativity,
No, subjective.
subjectivities.
자, 주체성이 뭐죠?
What is subjectivity?
주체성이 뭡니까?
What is it?
네. 그렇지 않습니다.
It's not like that. I'll tell you. I want you to tell me more detailedly.
주체성이란
Subjectivity.
상대를 창조하는 능력이라고 말씀했습니다.
It's
Ability.
the ability to love and create something.
참된 주체성은
So,
상대를 창조해 주는 데 있습니다.
so you actually was in subjectivity. You actually creating
상대가
the partner.
할수
You also help the partner to grow.
주신 그
Just
배경 자체가
all the different attributes that you have, you try and be able to complete it, and you support the other partner to be able to get there. This is subjectivity.
상대 주체는 그렇기 때문에
So
상대의 필요를 알아야 돼요.
you have to, because you are the subject, you have to understand what the the object needs, what the partner needs, and you have to know what he wants, and his special, what is special, what he has, what are the attributes that God gave him.
끌어내서
And then once you found all that,
그 사람이
then you have to be able to find a way to get that person to be able to help that person grow. To why do I hear that noise? Toc toc toc.
자, 그래서
So
주체성이
subjectivity.
만들어지려면 대상의 잠재 능력을 알아야 됩니다.
So then again, if you want to become a subject, you want to be able to have that subjectivity, you have to know what the other person needs.
Understand?
Do you understand?
그럼 여러분들
So
제가 쉽게
I'll
이해를
tell you
드리겠습니다.
again very simply.
여기 샤프장님
So here we have our leader
자, 헤드쿼터에서
from the headquarters.
여기 아니라 지역 목사님 여기 계십니다.
So this is another leader from a different country.
자, 헤드쿼터에서
So someone from the headquarters,
협회장님으로부터 명령이 내려왔어요.
he gets an order to do something.
당신 교회에서
And your church,
전도의 목표가
your witnessing goal,
300명을 해라.
do 300 people for your witnessing goal.
그 명령을 받았을 때
So he got this order.
이 지역의 목사님은
And when this leader from this country he received the
일로
order,
일을 시키는 것으로 명령을 받을 수도 있고
there are two ways he can receive this.
비전으로도
He can receive this as a order, or he can receive this as a mission. Mission, yeah.
이 지역 목사님은 식구들에게 얘기합니다.
So then again,
헤드쿼터에서
this country leader
우리 처치에서
will tell to his congregation, oh, we got an order from the headquarters to do 300 new leaders. And I want all of you to just have three new people. This is True Father's order. That's the kind of speech he can give to his congregation. And then the members can take it as a task or work. They will not take it as a vision. But if I wanted to be a subject, how should I do? If I wanted to have subjectivity, I know everyone's different specialities. I know different one's characters, and then or talent. I say I will make here you, for example, you're very good at drawing, so you're an artist. So I create a witnessing center, and then what about you just putting some decoration over here? What about you creating the slides for this? Because you know everyone's characteristics, everyone's a talent, and everyone's is happy to kind of follow their dreams, they will be like, wow. Then of course the person that you know as well what they can do, and then they're like, oh, you, for example, you're very good at guests, so would you like me to be there when we have a few guests coming over? So I believe in your capabilities, so I think you can do this. So talking in that way, they are very happy. They started putting on music, and then they dance and they do their job. Some other members, they're good at speaking. Oh well, you over there. And when a new guest comes, well, what about you just explaining to the guest? Oh, and then of course they feel so good because they like, oh yeah, they know they can create a good relationship. And so because there's one person that is very good at speaking, he'll be very happy to do his job very well.
To meet guests.
To meet guests. And then there might be someone that is very good at doing different activities. So maybe he's even good at money things. He's very good at insuring people and making coffee or business. He's quite clever. So then you see that special or talent in him, and then you again direct yourself towards him. Be like, look, we're having some guests. We're gonna have some guests anyway. So why don't you do this or do that? So I think you are the best person for this. So the people again become all happy. What do you think will happen then? Just like I said, these people, if you know their personal attributes or their personal characteristics and talents, then of course their dreams, their own hidden abilities will develop. They'll be happy. They will not see it as they become active, and they will not see it as an order. So then this 300 members these 300 new people to witness again that had these 300 members that were ordered, it was something different. So they would
creativity should be there.
So then again, there should be creativity in that church, in that leader, and they will not be a job, it will be joy, it will be a vision for them, because they'll be able to develop their own hidden talents as well. That is God. And as well, that is what our true Father explained about subjectivity. Wow, you guys became red. Bright. So all the leaders are becoming very nervous. Yeah? Because you got to use your subjectivity. It's not just in the church, even in your family. You know the talent of your children. It has to be the same when you're dealing with the second generation, your own kids. What you have to think is, what do we have to do right now? How can we tell them just try and see how we can create the vision, how we can move the vision in their hearts. Not tell them what to do. And once you have this, then it'll be possible for them to grow and feel everything as a vision. True subjectivity. So I'm not asking you to give them orders or anyone, but try and see how you can help their mission to develop. Their internal hidden mission. You are the owners of their vision. You are helping them. You know their dreams. You know the partner's abilities, and you are the one to help them grow. Yeah. So you can help them dream as well.
이 주체성이 상대 창조를
So again, this subjectivity is about making the partner's creativity grow. And what is the creativity? There are three types of creativity. Absolute faith, absolute love, absolute obedience. These three actually go into the creativity. Oh, there are three. So then when I read the pledge, I also say that. Wow, I've heard that many times. But what is that? Absolute faith, what is it? What is absolute faith? So most people, when you ask about absolute faith, they will try and talk a bit about. They will try and talk about following. It's about following without any question. These are the kind of thought they have. But I'll tell you very easy and in action. So we hope that you guys can also follow. I will do. Whatever I do, just do right now, yeah? Please follow my actions. To live on your conscience, based on your conscience, and vertically with God, become one with God. One again, living based on your conscience, become one in such a way that there is no. It's talking about the 12 noon, that thing.
No shadow.
No shadow. So again, I want you to talk and then make the action at the same time. Living on your conscience with God without any shadow. Do you understand? What does that mean? Even though human beings fail, the reason why the point of is possible to have restoration is because of this. Because we have a conscience. But because this conscience exists, then we are able to actually feel the original characteristics of God, and restoration is possible. When Adam and Eve failed, of course they have felt bad in their conscience. So when you live based on your conscience and vertically and be one with God and in such a way there's no shadow. So shall we see it more? In the morning, for example, the sun rises and then it comes in the center. When it becomes 12 o'clock, it starts becoming really bright. It comes straight into the position of a 90-degree angle. And in this, and everyone can feel that heat of 90 degrees. And once this heat comes on you, when this light, comes to you, there is no shadow at all because it's 12. So if we look at if we look at this time, the clock, again, when the two angle, what you call it, the clock, when it all comes on 12, yeah, two hands come to 12 o'clock, then it's straight. So again, the same, when the 90 degrees angle come one, all in the middle, and it is 90 degrees and the sun is high, there is no shadow, and everything, it means that all your things and thoughts should be again as well selfless and be one-centered on God. You have to remember that. You can remember that every 12 o'clock. That is absolute faith. So living centered on absolute faith, centered on your conscience, and then becoming one with God vertically at this time. This is absolute faith. So you don't think about yourself at that time. When it becomes when it's the 90 degrees time, and then the 90 degrees time, you have to think as well 100%. And then also it's 12 o'clock, you just start thinking and feeling exactly this life. That is absolute faith. So that's becoming one with the attributes or characteristics of God. So then you forget yourself at that time. I know that we had lots of, because of the fall, we started thinking about ourselves. Do you understand? So now you know what is absolute love, and it's not about just following, it's about, yourself. And don't just follow, walk, and don't think. And the secondly is absolute love. Please come in the front. So again, you just follow me, follow my action. I want you guys to look. This is absolute love. So, what is absolute love? It's about making the partner completed, and she as well complete me. Please greet me. So when you greet me when you make me complete, and I will also become completed. So you guys will also do that later, yeah? So you make the partner complete, and that will complete myself. So, yeah. Do you understand? All together, please stand up. Have two people come in pairs and do it. I just made it up. Oops. I make you complete. And you will complete me. Come on, say it as well when you're doing. Again, do that a few times. I complete you, and you will complete me. One more time. I will help you complete yourself. I will help you complete yourself, and you will complete me. So basically, it's a two-way thing. Great. Okay, baksu, clap, 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 clap. And sit down, please. This is absolute love. So what is actually absolute love again? What is it that? What is Satan's type of characteristics of love? So Satan's way of loving is, I am going to complete myself, and later I will help you. So, for example, I can help you, but if I help you, I can help you, but then if I help you, you're going to give me this. This is how Satan people think. So they're not thinking about the other person first. They first want to complete themselves, whatever it is, in what kind of a situation, then they can help others. So it's first about, how can I do this for myself, and then later I can help you. Do you understand?
여러분들에게 아주 쉽게
So again, very simply, I will explain that.
상대를 완성시켜 나를 완성시키는 것이
So I said that true absolute love is completing the others, and then I can get completed.
아내 스스로가
So for example, the wife, does she?
아내의 가치는 누가 비용하죠?
Who knows the
The wife's value.
who gives the wife's value?
아내의 가치는 누가 부여하죠?
Who gives the wife a value? The husband.
아내라고 불러주는 유일한 존재는
You will never be. He's the only one that calls you wife.
남편이 불러
It is because
아내 되었습니다.
you become wife because your husband called you his wife.
아내의 완성의 자격을 아내가 갖고 있는 기능이 아니라
It's not because you are a lady,
Certain function.
you're able to do certain things, but it's just because your husband
아내라고
called you wife.
옆집
If, for example, the person from another house,
Neighbor.
a neighbor, for example,
근무로
and we're together and calls you wives as well, no one can do that. Can someone else call you wife even if you were with them? No, only your husband can.
그렇기 때문에
That's why
완성은
for the wife to be able to complete it, it will not be by herself, it will be thanks to the husband.
자기가 완성되려면 어떻게 해야 되죠?
So how does she have to do?
Depend on.
She has to depend on the husband.
Depend on.
That's correct.
남편의 종이 돼요.
So you have to become one with, you have to be the servant of your husband.
왜 종이라고 하는 말을 쓰시죠?
Why did you use the servant? Or why do we use it? Because
자기의 생각과
the servant doesn't think about anything else but only the master.
He does what master said.
He does exactly what the master says. And then to be able to complete the wife's position, you have to give 100%. You have to be 100% for your husband, like a servant. Do you do that? You
나에게 명령하지 마세요.
don't think about yourself. Don't order
To me.
me something. Don't tell me what to do. Now just do it. What is it?
남편에게
And you tell your husband, just do that. Don't you do that? To tell your husband, oh, do this, do that.
그러면 아내 자리가 완성되나요?
So then do you think you became a complete wife
자기를 완성시키는
By doing.
by ordering your husband to do something?
어떻게 자기를 완성시키는 존재에게 명령할 수 있어요?
How can you order someone that is supposed to help you become completed? Now, let's go to the husband.
Who calls you?
Who calls you husband? Your wife, my wife.
아내가 남편의 자리를 완성시켰다고
So then it means your wife is actually helping you to restore, to become completed.
생각하는 아줌마를 바라보죠?
Why do you just live with her as if she's a normal?
남편이라고 불러주나요?
Oh, do you think a lady from outside or anyone can just call you husband?
어떤 여자가 지나가면 왜 실컷실컷
When you just go around, you see a nice girl, you just turn your head.
자리를 만들어주나요?
But who will make your husband when you're looking at other people? Your wife, my wife, only my wife.
그럼 아내에게 어떻게 하고 있죠?
So then, what are you doing to your wife then?
나는 남편이야, 주체.
I am the subject, I'm the husband.
내 말 들어야 돼.
You have to listen to me.
내가 하는 것에 따르지 않으면
If you don't do what I say,
우리 가정은 운행되지 않아.
we will not be able to move. Our family will not continue,
소리 하지 않아.
Function.
will not function properly.
아내 없이 어떻게 남편의 자리가 만들어져?
Would you think that you'll be a husband without your wife? Do you think that you can just live without your partner?
그렇죠.
Huh? You see?
자기 자리는
Your position is just thanks to your partner.
You can't make it yourself.
You can only become completed because of this person.
아내의 자리가 완성.
And then your husband can only help you to become completed. And the only reason why your wife, the only reason you'll be a husband is because your wife has helped you to complete yourself.
왜
Then why
자기가
you
자기를 완성시키려고
don't let the person complete you?
And you try yourself.
You try yourself to be completed.
자기 자리는
Why do you leave your
변하지 않는
position? Your position will never change in that kind of mindset.
상대보고 왜 변하라고
Because your partner will help you change.
Why you think people could
아내의
change?
자리가 완성되는데
She's the only one that can help you change. Why are you asking other people to help? Why are you asking them to change?
왜 입고 살지?
Why are you living that way? Why are you forgetting that and then living?
내가 완성될 때는
If I want to change, if I want to grow, if I want to develop, I want to become complete.
Who has the key?
Who has the key?
내 자리가 완성되는 거 아닙니까? 내 자리가 인정되는 거 아닙니까?
Who's the only person that can? Who's the person that can know my position? It's the only person. It's only my partner.
어떻게 아내가 될 수가 있어요?
How can he become a wife if the husband doesn't approve of your position?
부모의 자리
Who makes you a parent?
부모 자신입니까?
Who makes you a parent? Children.
아빠, 엄마라고
They are the only people that can call you father and mother. They are the one that make you parent.
근데 자녀에게 어떻게 하겠어요?
So what do you do? Why are you doing to your parent, to your kids now?
소유물입니까 당신?
Are they your possession?
Are they what are you?
Are they your possession?
Are they your possession? Do you possess them? Is that
부모의
Yep.
자리를 완성시켰어요.
you cannot become a parent in that way?
부모의 자리 완성. 자녀의
In order to be able to be complete as a parent, you have to be able to you have to be able to let your children complete you, and then both ways it will work both ways. So you want to be a lawyer? What kind of job do you have to do?
변호사의 엄마 아빠. 변호사의 엄마 아빠가 된다고.
Or you have to become the father of law.
Lawyer.
You have to become a lawyer.
자녀가 대통령의 자리에 있으면
If you are standing in the position of
If your children
become a president,
대통령의 엄마 아빠.
then you become the father or mother of a president.
your level goes
Your
up.
level goes up.
자녀를 완성시킨 퍼센티지만
So even though, as much as you let your children grow and complete, then you become the parent of such children.
왜 못 먹고
Why?
못 입고
Why is it that you don't dress, you don't eat, you make your children sacrifice,
모든 것을 자녀에게 투입해왔지
you do everything invest only for your children?
무엇을 완성시키려고?
Why? To complete what? What is the purpose for doing that?
완성을 시킬 때
If you-
부모의 자리가
If you want to be able to help your children to complete themselves and become, then you,
자세한 내용은 모르지만
I know you don't know completely, but you have to try and give 100% efforts into your children.
자녀의 완성이
And that will help the children to complete themselves. And again, of course, you'll be completed as a parent, and they'll be the same level. You will have the, so your husband level goes up and your wife's levels goes up to the same level.
내 레벨이 올라가려면
So if you want to be able to grow up, then of course you have to give that much effort into your children, because then it's a give and take.
내 주변에 있는
The-
아내를 완성시킨 레벨
If I want to be able to make my wife complete, if I want to be able to make my wife different, or my children, or my members get to a certain level, for example, I have to be able to be in that position. And then as well, same for the parents and wife and husband. And that's the only way. They are the ones that will help me get to my level, because they acknowledge me to that. They help me get to that level. Do you understand?
자, 선생의 자리는
And the teacher's position,
선생님 하버드대와 학교 나왔어요.
if whether he's coming from Harvard University, I came up from that university.
한문을 배웠어.
I studied so much Chinese character. I'm very clever.
나는 아인슈타인보다 더
I am even more clever than
지식적으로 완벽합니다.
a minister.
그런 교수가 있다.
There are some kind of teachers like that.
그 사람이 교수가 될 수 있어요?
But do you think that makes them a teacher?
가르칠 수 있는 학생이 없는데 교수가 될 수 있어요?
Do you think that there are teachers that they can actually teach?
의미가 없어요.
Even if they are so clever, it doesn't mean they can teach.
제자가 없으면 의미가
If there's
없어요.
nobody to learn from them,
스승이라고
then they will not be able to be a teacher.
No point.
There's no point. So that's why,
내가 스승 되고
for me to become a teacher,
제자들이
I should have disciples. I should have people that want to learn from me. And once I get them to help to learn from me, then I become a teacher that much.
Reputation from you.
I'll get the appreciation from the students, and I can be able to be in the level and be completed as a teacher.
누가 대통령 스승은
So, who is anyone's president? How does it work for president? Who?
Who makes president?
Who makes the president again? That's it. People. The country.
그렇죠. 그러면 여러분들 들으시면서 뭘 느끼셨어요?
So what did you feel when you heard this lecture?
이 세상은
In
사탄의
this world,
인간이 타락함으로
because of the fallen nature, because of what happened in the beginning, we all got the characteristics of Satan.
자기 이익을 전부
We are only thinking about the selfishness, our own selves. We don't even think about how to help the other person grow. Our heart, our heart is different. This had occupied our heart, selfishness. But normally, if we are able to help the other person grow, then of course we get to that position. Because we are acknowledged as that. So as much as percentage as we give into that person, as much as we are on changing to that person, then the love will remain in them for us, and we will be. So again, I will live in that person forever. As much as I give, I'll be in that person. Whatever I said will remain in them. So this is actually the original, how it should have been originally.
여러분들 얘기할 거예요.
So I'll tell you again something else.
항상이 그 말씀 들으니까
So again, wow, now that I'm hearing this, I'm becoming very surprised. But I'm a blessed couple, and I know that I have to act this, but my wife is a Japanese. And she doesn't know how to make even food. She doesn't know how to clean properly. She doesn't also clean very well my clothes. You know, she married me, but she doesn't even speak English. And she has nothing really good that I can see. But so what? The theory is really good, but even I can't even give 1% of myself, because even if I didn't give, then my family will perish. They say whatever I do, she doesn't change. That's what he said. That was someone in another lecture. A very clever man. And then,
So-called.
so he's what he called, he's so-called clever. Do you think that's what it is? So I think there's some people that might feel this now. That's why they're laughing.
아버님 말씀이 얼마나 위대한가를 여러분 느껴보세요.
So I want you to feel how.
그대로
So again, true father exactly does like he says. So I will show you through action again how to do this.
애기가
So then again, look at the baby. A baby is born.
몇 개월 만에 태어나죠?
After how many months is he born? 10, he says.
그래서 10개월.
10 months.
그런데 요즘은
But these days,
아주 아이들이 이제 10개월 만에 태어나가지고
so kids are born after 10 months.
아기가 걸음을 걸을 때
And then when they walk,
몇 개월이 돼야
how long does it be for them to be able to stand up when after they've started walking? Or 1 year.
근데 요즘은 영양이 좋아서
But these days, because the nutrition is so good, they just do it in 10 months again.
자, 이 어린아이가
And this little kid,
태어나서 걸음을 연습합니다.
they start walking. I'm going to make an action now.
아이가
That's the baby.
일어나서
They stand and then
걷다가
they fall. They try, they fall.
쓰러지고 그렇게 반복.
That's how, by repeating and repeating, they stand up.
그 걷다가 쓰러지고
After walking, falling. And the parents see that kind of hard work. Well, this is what the parents say.
야 바보 병신.
Ah, you're a stupid guy.
너 언제
When will you start walking?
너 언제 온전한 사람 되냐?
When will you become a normal person?
그렇게 이야기하는 부모 있어요.
Is there anyone that speaks like that?
왜 없어요?
Why? Why don't we have people like that?
그 애기는
Because
걷다 쓰러고 걷다
when they walk and fall, and the parents see that,
또 하나는 뭐냐? 잘한 게 아무것도 없어.
they
They're not.
똥 싸면
there's nothing to be
기저귀 갈아달라고
they're good at.
하고 그래요.
And then they just cry, don't they? They stand up, they cry. When the kids know nothing, so basically whether they're hungry, they cry. Whether they fall, they cry.
너무 잘 침투해서 매일매일 아프고
Every day. You go to the hospital.
두 번이 아니에요.
It's not only one time you go to the hospital when your child cries.
일어서지도 못하고
So that child cannot even stand up. When they're laying,
밤새도록 울어서
when they cry on the whole night,
지칠 때가 많고
there are many times the parents are annoyed. There are many times the parents are tired.
하는 것이
But there's nothing that they can do.
No, baby are good at.
There's nothing the baby can do, sorry.
아이가 기분이 좋아.
The baby, well, one day when the baby is happy, he just smiles.
엄마,
And then the mother,
아빠는
father,
그 미소를 보고
look at that face.
이 세상을
And then they just look at the world and forgive everything.
자기만 자식하고
Feels like he owns.
온
It-
모습을 다 얻은 것 같아.
So that kid, when he's smiling, he has this face like, I'm owning the whole world.
The parents.
The parents feel like that.
아무것도 10가지 중에서 아무것도 할 수 없는데
Even though the child cannot do anything, there's one thing he can do. Smile. And the parents' heart
기쁨과
are so happy and full of joy.
왜 그렇죠?
Why is it like that?
잘하는 것 아무것도 없는데
That child even does nothing. He doesn't know how to do anything. But why are you happy?
그 부모는
Because you as a parent,
그 형제 아이를 보는 게 아니야.
when you see the child now
부모의 머릿속에는
in your mind,
미래에
you see the future of the
되어서
child, and you can see how he will be when he will complete and his potential.
보고 있기 때문에
And because you are seeing the future of that child, whether how he looks like or how he's going to be, because you see the future somehow and you dream for that child, because you have a vision for him and his happy face.
아내를 바라볼 때
You look at your wife,
못한 것 9가지 보십니다.
even if she cannot look at your wife. If there's even 9 things that she cannot do, just think about all the things, the good things that she has for her future, what she can do for us, what you can do for her.
아내의 그림을 갖고 계세요.
Do you have the picture of your wife actually? with you in your, with you. Do you feel that she will be able to complete herself soon? Do you see the talents of your wife? Really? What's her dream? Oh, come on, what is it? If you don't know, just tell me. Oh, she wants to be an artist. What's his dream? What's your husband's dream? To be a son of God. Oh my God. So, what is really very strange is that some people live, they don't actually know the dream of their husband. And they live together. Do you know why? He's very fair, God? Because even handicaps or sick people, people with broken legs, any type of people, he still sees and can see their talent and their dreams. He can see their potentials, and once they are completed,
they have their own.
He can see that they have their own, and he can see them grow, and he can see feel for them. You guys, what's who created the standard for handsome boys, guys, and beautiful girls? Who created that? Are you brainwashed by the videos and the media? The height has to be this way, the look has to be like that, the form, his face. This is Satan's world. That's how they created this mass media that Satan uses the mass media and created all these false ideas of, here, this is a handsome guy, this is a beautiful girl. Is that true? When God gives you, actually gives you the ability to be able to complete yourself through your partner. And there are many ways that you can actually be one. You have to believe that. There are so many ways that you can make your talents go up. Look at your husband.
Spiritually.
And look at everything spiritually. And then trust.
Yeah. Kids can do 9 things out of 10.
For example, you can do 9 out of 10. One thing, for example, is smile. That's the baby. But that smile can help you see the future and help you see the dream of the child. And then you don't see any of his problems. You don't see any of his failings, basically, because of that one smile. You don't see all the trouble he's make you go through. What is it that do you see what he can do? Do you see his problems? Really? Do you see her mistakes? He says yes. He's shaking his head. Because he's laughing, I know he knows. I'll tell you one thing. I'm telling you to just one thing. One thing is for you to see the potentials inside each of them. And once you have seen that potential, and then whatever mistakes, just pretend as if you haven't seen those kind of mistakes or problems that they are. Don't see their failings. See that one good thing. Why do you have to look at all the 9 things? There's no meaning in that. Because that doesn't help you as a wife to grow. It doesn't help you as a husband to develop. So then look at that one good thing that this wife has, and then be able to make that one thing develop, and then you as well as a husband will go to that level.
왜 못하는 거 9가지만.
Why don't you just say the things, the 9 things that she can't do, and then you just let Satan invade? Isn't it like that? Isn't that how it should be? My wife. How many % do you think I helped my wife to develop? Just tell me the truth. Don't just look around and see maybe someone, is looking at me and then you start saying a lie. 30. So how many % do you think you helped your wife to accomplish herself?
Your point.
What's your point? Is it also 30%? So you could only help your wife grow to a 30% level?
30% of husband.
So the amount of percentage you give to your wife is that amount of percentage you have received. Same level. So even I know that I'm living in this time, and Father has actually given me the blessing. Even if I'm reborn, then I'm gonna live this way. That with this kind of girl, with this kind of husband. This is how some people think. But your percentage is exactly equal to the percentage you help your spouse or partner to overgrow. What position is it that you can? How much percentage you can help your wife to grow? It's you. You're the only one that can help your wife grow. By helping her, you can grow yourself. So your responsibility, the responsibility of helping her to get to a level, is by yourself. So it's because you cannot go up to a certain level. That's why your wife has not gone up. So when you don't have the ability to help your wife grow, then of course you will not grow. Don't you think so? Well, you don't grow that ability. So, our blessed couples, now after the foundation day, what do you think we should do now? On the foundation day? Outside, externally? The third Adam, true father, he would have made his wife grow up to the 8th level, and he would have helped as well God to become completed, and that's the first thing that will happen. And secondly, we have to become children of God, and then also help Him complete Himself. Well, in the Bible they say we believed, we look at God, we look like God. So of course, we have to be able to also look like the core attributes of God. So we have to be able to have that kind of. We have to be able to look that way. We have to try our best. That's the main thing. The main thing is absolute love, absolute love, and helping the partner to grow. Here in England, I'm looking at this picture where I can see England's potential. All of you will be able to grow because you guys will try your best to help your partners grow. That kind of model-like family I can see in this England.
그 다음은 뭐죠?
What's the next?
절대사랑, 절대사랑.
So basically you have to
세 번째 이야기를 하겠습니다.
I'm going to tell you
저는요, 아버님이 맨 처음에
something else.
절대 복종이라고 하는 말을 쓰셨을 때
So when True Father first used absolute obedience,
복종이에요.
he was like,
Moses' era.
라고 생각했어요.
and
It's not Moses' era anymore.
so it's not Moses' era anymore. It's not the time where it's obedience like by the law, like in Moses' time.
복종의 세계에는
But
질서의 세계이기 때문에
it's about the
복종이 타락한 세상에서 느끼는 무조건의 복종의 상황이 아니에요.
it's basically to obedience is not about just following completely. It's about us trying to remove our fallen nature and also remove as well our selfishness and
불력적으로.
cut away from Satan.
근데 하늘 세계에서는
So in heaven's
절대 복종이라고
side, as I said, is to because it's a completed world. It's basically again
배려하고
to become humble, help the other,
That's obedience.
and that's obedience.
그게 첫째 개념.
That's the first
Concept.
concept.
복종은 행복해요.
So if you obey, then you are happy
상대를 완성시키려고 해요.
because your job is to just try and help the other one complete,
질서 세계에
how to help the other one to grow. That's obedience.
두 번째
Secondly,
개념이 있습니다. 복종.
there's a different concept about it.
말씀이
In True Father's words,
절대 복종하기는
when he says absolute obedience,
절대 긍정하지 않고는
he said
복종이 아니다.
if you cannot,
Absolute positive.
he said in True Father's way, if you cannot actually
복종은
be one with your partner, you cannot as well be obedient.
긍정으로 바꾸어 말할 수가 있어요.
So basically, you have to
Absolutely positive.
be absolutely positive about them.
하나님의 성품에
So
절대 긍정.
God's attribute is completely
베스트셀러.
absolute positivity, to be completely positive. Then do you know The Secret, the movie?
그책 읽어보신 분.
Anyone who read it, please put up your hand. Or saw it.
거기에
The
있는
Secret.
거죠.
What is the main thing about it?
그 비디오도 나오고 책도 나왔어요.
There is a video, there is a book about it as well.
이거는 실질적인 과학적인 내용을 가지고
These are actually made by a scientist based on science,
긍정의
and
에너지와
it says that basically the energy of the universe,
There's a negative.
there is negative energy and positive energy. And for those who have positive energy,
긍정적인
those who have positive energy, the universe will help them. But those who have negative minds,
그렇지 않아도 일이 안 되는데
nothing will really happen to them.
위에 돌고 있는
So,
긍정적인 에너지
so all the negative energy
자기하고 맞는
will just come
생각을 갖고 있는
to them.
달라붙어가지고 부정적인 에너지
So all the again, of course, just come to them, and they will just stay negative and also have a negative life.
Boost.
It will be boosting them of negativity. So
이나 마이너스입니다.
what am I then? I'm a plus or minus
긍정의
for if let's say that plus is positivity. Am I?
에너지를 갖고 있으면 플러스가 계속
So if I have a plus energy, if I have a plus mind, then all of a sudden I get boosted by more positivity coming from the universe. But if I have this negative one, then
그래서 여러 사람
again you attract more negativity. You can see that book. You can read that if you check it and make more research about it. There's one person there.
호모 같이 생겼어요. 남자.
He looked like a
호모가 아니야.
homo,
Precision.
근데
but he's
이
not.
사람은 직장에 가서
So then he went to his. He looked like a gay, and then he went to work, and everyone was like,
Yeah, it's like
I said gay.
yeah. So he got He didn't last 3 months.
So then,
at work.
but he's not a gay person.
근데 생긴 새가 그렇게 생겼다고 다른 사람들이 보는 거예요.
But then other people looked at him and it was just like, oh God, everyone is looking at me. They think I'm gay. And he didn't, after 3 months, he just left the place. He was like, oh, that's it. He got fired.
그러니까 이 사람은 비관에 빠졌어. 비관.
So he got
나는 할 수 없어.
very, very depressed.
아무리 하려고 노력해도
I can't do anything. Nothing happens to me well.
나는 이 지상에서 살 수 없는 존재.
I'm just in a world I can't leave. I can't survive in this world. That's it. And then
그러다가 마인드 컨트롤 6개월.
then he went to this place where he can have a mind control for.
당신이 생긴
And then they told him, look, they spoke to him about his looks.
사람들에게
And then he said,
관계를 잘할 수 있는
that's very good, you know. You have such a nice face, that's a very smooth face, and that face can actually help you to become better. You can change, you know, because you have that kind of smooth face. Then you can really have an ease in terms of relationship. You can have a very good relationship with people.
당신이
They spoke to him like that.
여러 사람 만나기 좋아하는 거죠.
You like to meet many people. You like to do lots of activities. You can meet that kind of person.
과거의 어두운 그
So all the sad energy that he had from his past about his looks, about himself, looking as that way, he just became more positive about his character, his looks, his talents. And then he went out and he got married.
병원에 취직을 했어요.
Sales department.
He got married and he went back to the same department,
Sales.
to the sales department.
뒤에 돌고 있는 긍정적인 에너지가
And then because he had this positive energy, there was nothing he could not do. That guy, he became a millionaire. Guys,
과학이 먼저 하나님의 속성의 세계를 말하고 있어요.
in science, this also tells us a lot about God.
하루의 긍정적인
So, what kind of mindset are you? Are you more positive or negative? Negative.
웃지 마시고
Don't laugh. Really think about yourself.
여러분들 예배 끝나면
So after the service,
오늘 말씀 좋았다고 얘기만 해.
After Sunday service.
오늘 교회
after the Sunday service, don't go and say that you're really happy. Or,
Someone was good or not. After service, are you talking about this?
okay. Do you talk after when the service is over? Do you start talking about how it was good, how it was bad? What kind of how are you? What kind of person are you? Or do you actually try and listen, and then through speaking, you can support? You know, are you some kind of person that tries to live your actions and help others, and you know, be different.
자기와 비교하면서
Compare yourself with others.
액션을 하나도 안 하면서
Well, sometimes you don't do anything when you just leave.
여러분 직장 생활할 때
So when you work at work, when you go to work,
친구 동료들하고
and with your friends,
비전을 통한 얘기
do you speak more about the vision of your workplace? Do you think more about that?
아니면
Or
상사를 씹어요?
do you see their theology, their ideas?
No, talk about behind
직장에서
the
월급이
boss.
더
Or do you speak about the boss behind his back?
무엇을 더 많이 말해가지고
What do you do more?
여러분들 부부가 집에 들어와서
Okay, now you're a couple. Do you speak more about, as a couple, do you speak about good things?
더 많이 얘기해요.
Or do you speak more about like bad things that has happened to you
여러분들 뭐
between your families? In your family.
Who control?
Who controls you? Is, what occupies your mind?
여러분들 마음 세계는 누가
In-
컨트롤하세요?
Who occupies your heart and your mind?
축복하려니까
Are you a blessed family?
하나님의 속성으로 전환되어 있다고?
Do you have the characteristics of God, the attributes of God? Do you feel in that way?
정말 변화받겠네?
Are you actually changing?
축복하는
But you are a blessed family?
내 생활에서 긍정의
You have to live a positive life and slowly go and develop up, like develop more.
나를 장악하게 하시고
You have to be able to do that.
Positive energy should.
So that way, the positive energy will come up back to you.
그렇죠?
Yes?
예. 그래서
Aju.
그래서 우리가 하나님의 속성의 절대 목적은 절대 긍정.
So that's why God speaks about absolute love and absolute positiveness.
하지 않았다면
So if we had not actually failed, then we would have that kind of dream, we would have that kind of life, it would be that way, we would be completely looking like God and feeling like God. That's a kind of happy life and happy world we would be living in, that kind of culture. So while trying our best to complete the other person.
Right.
This is the attributes of God.
그래서
So
절대 신앙이란 창조성의
what is the creativity? It's absolute love. And it is basically you living with absolute faith, completely vertically, becoming one with God,
절대 사랑이라고 하는
which have no shadow.
상대를
And then absolute love is about trying to complete your partner, and they will complete you.
생각 1%도 놓지 않고
So don't, as a husband, just look at your wife and don't try and get.
자기라고 하는 생각 1%도
Don't just think 1% of it, but think more about it, what they want.
아내가 남편을
So the wife think about the wife, husband thinks about the wife, and it goes up, 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 up. So
자기라고 하는 것
together,
하나도 놓지 않고
you don't lose any kind of. You basically think just about yourselves.
방향 서로
So together you'll be able to help yourself grow up and up. So in that way,
상대를 완성시킨
while you're trying to
내가 완성되어
complete your partner, you'll be completed.
You see.
You'll see yourself
중심 삼고
be completed. But if you,
너는 내 밑에 있어.
if the wife thinks, oh, your husband, you are better than me, then what? And then you're under me. So if you start thinking, look at you, you're under me. Then the wife will be like, oh no, you're under me. And then the more you just keep going down, 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 down. So the the moment you start downgrading yourself, then both of you downgrade.
상대 목표를
So you plus them and then they plus you. What is subjectivity? It starts from the husband being a subject. So you first
Keep up.
give yourself up and then you give your everything for your wife. You start. You are the subject.
이게 절대성.
That is absolute love.
왜 여자가 한국에서 주체가 못 되나요?
Why should the lady
성대성
not be the subject?
자기라고 하는 생각을 없애고
Because I think
바라보는
you should not. You should lose yourself and then look and just think about the other.
그러나 남자가
So the man,
만들 때
when he's as a subject, this is the big problem is that when the man is a subject,
제가 아브라함 가정
they cannot.
Only problem is of men.
Many of the problems are the men. I told you the story of Abraham, for example. Once because he lived based on his conscience and he was one vertically with God and he prayed like that as a man, the wife just saw this and followed. She had to just could die. She could die for him. She could be once. She wasn't even thinking 1% about herself. She was thinking just completely about her husband and into her husband and seeing her husband as a God. So then, of course, obviously, they helped each other grow. That was in that kind of beautiful love. The children, Isaac, went all right to even die for the dad because they had absolute love, absolute obedience. That's the kind of thing. So the husband is the problem. So that through that they could create the elder-son relationship and also the mother and son cooperation. Everything was done. So the reason why it in Adam's family it didn't work because they could not feel God. So this subjectivity is when they try and you try by absolute love and absolute obedience to help your partner to help recreate your partner and develop. Once this is completed, then this relationship will help. This relationship will be very heated up, and you guys will be completely love, and then you'll be united. This subjectivity, relationship, and unification is not just personally, it's just family, nation, tribe, and world. So it goes on in that way. So if once you become one with God, then the whole world as well, if you can get that concept, then they will be, the whole world will as well be exactly have those attributes of absoluteness. They will they will feel a completely unique relationship with God, one to one, by each and everyone, and then all of them, everyone on the earth, will be completely unchanging, and that kind of feeling that God wanted for this world. Do you understand? It's not just as much as God, but it is about us living that way, the attributes of God. Our first hour was very long, so let's have a break for 20 minutes and start again. That was too hard. That was too hard.
So we got 20 minutes, right? So let's be back here on time. At 10:35 to be back here. Thank you.